What's going on, everybody? So I'm sure many of you tuned in and watched Robert come save my rear end in the 66 when it ran out of gas, and then started leaking profusely from the carburetor right onto the exhaust manifold. Not a good thing. And today, ta-da, I had already ordered the new carburetor and it just came in. So my plan is, before I get started working back on the garage stuff, I'm going to tinker and work on my 66. I gotta stop doing this. I've lost a lot of time this week. Hopefully I'll start getting used to fall, and so it won't mess with me as bad coming up. We shall see. So yeah, you can see this carburetor where it's been leaking down to the exhaust. Well, it didn't until I ran out of gas and it stopped up the float. And this isn't exactly the right carburetor anyway. When Papa Hugh ordered it, he had ordered the wrong one and never got around to getting the right one because it was just an old farm truck. So we are going to go ahead and take this thing apart and put the right carburetor on it. You can see this carburetor has a thermal choke, which this truck can't run, and so he got a little adapter piece here and everything for it. And this carburetor is made for a manual choke, which will be a lot easier and neat to use. So yeah, I'm excited to see what happens. Let's get her on. Definitely, you can tell the difference in one of these China carburetors. They're definitely much lighter weight and a lot of plastic. Yeah. Oh, there we go. I think I know where I know where that pipe loop is. First, let me see. Yes, that fuel filter thread's right in there. Alright, so what I'm doing now is I got two different fuel filters. I got the one that goes on the gas line, and I got the one that goes in the carburetor right here. And because I ran out of gas, I needed to change it. The other one didn't have the inline one. And I'm going to put just the tiniest bit of blue Loctite, because blue's not the high strength. And if I need to change the fuel filter, I want to be able to get to it. So I don't have any thread sealant, or I would use thread sealant. And you don't really want to use silicone anywhere that it could get in any moving parts or stop anything up, like little holes like in the carburetor. There we go. And then this fitting right here is for it's just a vent, and you can vent it somewhere else, but being right there at the top of that bowl, it's just a vent, so I'm not going to worry about that. Okay, got that part done. Now let's go over here take the other carburetor off and get this one back on. All right, we got it hooked up. Now let's see if it runs. I'm sure I'm gonna have to do some adjusting on it, but hopefully it'll crank up and be pretty close. Okay, so we do need to adjust the idle speed on it. And looks like I need to tighten up the exhaust manifold. To the intake manifold. Okay, so I figured it out. So what was happening was when the choke closes all the way, it should hit this button and allow the carburetor to close all the way, but it couldn't. So now with just a little bit of pressure, this closes all the way, and I'll be able to adjust it back now a little bit so that it idles faster with the choke pulled. But now we're good. And also on this, the choke comes out of the passenger side. So right here's where that choke cable, you see me playing with this piece right here. It's supposed to go in here. So my choke's backwards. And I need to, hopefully I have the cables long enough, and it looks like it will be. So I need to run it this way, and that's going to let my, fix my choke. So, all right, let's get it done, because I want to take it for a spin. Poop. Oh! So now I've lost both nuts for the carburetor. Time for a magnet. All right, so I need to run get gas anyway. Got my cans right here, because I'm not going to drive it. There's only a few gallons in it. Do not want to run it out and mess those filters up again. So I gotta get gas anyway. I gotta go find the other nut I lost. So I've magneted and looked everywhere. I can't find it. So it won't take about a second, and I had to do it anyway, so it's not like it was an extra trip. I gotta hurry if I want to get anything done on the shop. Do I? So nice out. All right, got our gas, got our new nuts. Now maybe I'll get to hear this thing run. All right, I hooked it down here kind of on the exhaust manifold. It's probably going to weaken that spring pretty fast, but just for testing, it'll work. And I'll fabricate, I don't want to mess up the original one, but I'll fabricate a piece that's just like this with a part that comes down so that the spring will pull down, because the problem is the spring pulling this way is not letting, it's not pulling right to let this diaphragm return all the way closed. So it can't pull this way, it's got to pull straight down, but that won't be a big deal. it won't take but just a minute. I just got to go to my scrap metal and figure something out. Alright, so I took the carburetor back off and playing around. I'm not exactly sure. I think something is maybe loose inside the carburetor. So I'm dealing with my, this time not frugal, I guess, my cheap decision. And this cheap carburetor is giving me cheap problems. Alright, so I took the carburetor apart and I can't seem to find anything that actually was causing this to bind up, but now it doesn't seem to be binding up. There's also a bunch of little balls and pins in here, and I flipped it over not paying attention and a bunch of them fell out, but it's kind of obvious where they go, I hope. So I think now I've got them all in the right spot. I'm going to put it back together and hope for the best and see if we can't give it another shot. If this doesn't work, I'm going to clean out that other carburetor. And see if I can't get it running with the other carburetor, and I'll send this back and tell them it's broken. Okay, well, either my starter is completely stuck or the battery's dead, or a combination of both. So I've got my battery starter on it, and believe it or not, hitting a starter with a heavy object is a good way to loosen up an old starter. I'm just going to let it charge for a minute and then I'll try it. I've already loosened and tightened battery cables and stuff, so not sure. Okay, well, spent hours yesterday. Got this carb. I mean, don't have to choke anything. It does fantastic. Let the battery charge overnight. Came out here and I'll just show you. Hear that? Yep. I think what happened was probably when that carburetor was revving it up, when it was revving up because the diaphragm wasn't closing all the way, something happened. Now I hope that it just bent a push rod, which are under the intake manifold. That happens commonly on these. So if it's been a push rod and it sounds like it's up high, it could just be I can just replace the push rod. If it spun a bearing, I'm gonna have to tear the whole thing down, but it's not a real big stout motor and I want to use it to pull the trailer and drive it. So I was planning on putting a larger motor in it anyway. So I'm already on the hunt for one of those, and Dad warned me. He's like, that old motor's worn out. It's a project, you know, truck's not young, and set a long time. Oh well. Got my eye on some motors. Hopefully I can find one for the right price, for the errand price of free or almost free. And rebuilding it won't be free. Hopefully I can find one at a decent price anyway. Maybe it doesn't need rebuilt, because I can tear this thing apart, or I can pull it and put a new one in fairly quickly. Yep, I'm used to it. This is my luck. I wanted so bad to take it to Waverly Hall, and I might still be able to. I'm gonna, like I said, pull that cover and check it. All right, well, thanks for watching this video. Yeah, Aaron's a little bit bummed, but it happens, and I'll be all right. Like I said, I was planning on changing this motor soon anyway. I just was trying to get it all good and driving and looking halfway decent before the little shindig in Waverly Hall next weekend. Well, thanks for watching. Make sure and like, subscribe, and share. Especially subscribe if you want to see the furtherings of the '66 Ford Army Highboy. I'll get it done. One day. With what money? I don't know. Aaron's going to have to sell some stuff, which I need to do anyway. All right, guys. Have a good day.